Was it a good thumbnail? You don't care? You clicked off the video. So you picked up your first FPV drone. You've been putting hours in the sim. You've been practicing at your nearby park, but you're still you're getting a little bit better, but something just doesn't feel right. Well, you may have done what I've done and completely overlooked a very important step in your FPV journey. Dial in your rates. Before I get deeper in the video, I'm Mike, nice to meet you. I'm just a regular guy that likes to fly FPV and who apparently has a habit of gravitating toward expensive hobbies. So when I bought my first FPV drone about 8 months ago, I was looking through the settings and I saw this thing called Gain and Expo, and I was like, oh, I don't understand what this is, and I just skipped it. And that was a big mistake. So basically the rates adjust how responsive your controller is for your FPV drone. If they're too low, you'll fly really slow and sluggish. If they're too fast, you'll be very twitchy and difficult to control. So for me, I have the DJI Neo FPV Controller 3 and the DJI Goggles 3. And to access the Gain and Expo settings to adjust the sensitivity of these sticks, you need all three of those linked up together for the menu to pop up in your goggles. And after you do that, you'll get your goggles on, go into your menu bar, go down to Settings, press Control, Remote Controller, and then to Gain and Expo. And here you'll see the settings for center sensitivity, max rate, and Expo. And each one of these settings is divided into roll, pitch, and yaw. And if you don't know what roll, pitch, and yaw is, let me demonstrate real quick. Roll, pitch, yaw. Clear as mud. Center sensitivity determines basically how sensitive the center area of your stick is to your responses. And essentially a lower center sensitivity is like slower, smoother control, and higher is like extremely reactive to your inputs, depending on how high you go. Okay, now we have max rates. I'm gonna put some B-roll up on the screen real quick to kind of demonstrate what I mean by this. But essentially at full stick deflection of any direction, the max rate determines how fast the maximum rate of movement in that axis is. Also, another side note with max rates is, this is especially true if you built your own drone. The max rate is highly dependent on the motors themselves. So if you install like really powerful motors on your drone as opposed to weaker motors, like even if you crank the max rate to as high as you can do it in the settings, the drone itself can only go so fast. I hope that makes sense. And finally we have Expo, and I had some trouble at first wrapping my head around this. But essentially Expo adjusts the curve between the center area. Like say if you wanna have like fine control in the center area of your stick, but then you get in a sticky situation and you wanna like bail out, you can like increase like the ramp up effect of how fast your drone moves depending on how far you move the stick. Someone would want to adjust their Expo, like, if they want the latitude to stay, chill in the middle, and then a seagull comes and tries to eat your drone and you need to bail out, you can crank your sticks around and that drone will be sent off into a wormhole and you'll probably never see it again. Yeah, you might be wondering, hey Mike, what rates should I use? I don't think anybody besides you can really answer that, because it's highly dependent on the drone you're flying and the type of flying that you personally like to do. I guess in a ballpark, maybe if you want to do slower cinematic footage, you might want lower rates, and then if you want really twitchy, fast, like freestyle control, maybe crank them a little bit higher, but you really just got to experiment yourself. I would recommend though, like whatever drone you have, like crank down your ratings as low as you can get them that you feel comfortable flying, and like go down the line and just experiment with each one until you dial in the one that feels right for you. Hey, if you could, let me know what kind of flying is your favorite and what your rates are, and let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you clicking on the thumbnail, and here's some footage of me hopefully not crashing my drone. Alright, so it was extremely windy today, so I'm playing this demo for a combat FPV simulator called Nexus FPV Carnage, so this isn't the real deal, but it's better than nothing. Especially when it's like 30-mile-an-hour winds.